Right, so I'm going to show you how to do this lacy stitch, but I want to show you how to do it with the pattern. So this is what it looks like, and I'm going to show you now from the book. I do have the pattern, and I thought that I would do it with you. Actually, this is reading a stitch in the book. It's called the old lace stitch. Now, to start with this stitch, they're saying that you need to do a multiple of 6 plus 1 plus 5 chains. So you do your slip knot, and then you do multiple of 6. So I'm going to do 3 of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Each one of those is a pattern. Your pattern stitch takes up 6 chain. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is, that's basically what they're saying. Then you need another 1 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 with row 1. They're saying working on a chain foundation, which we decided would be 18 plus the 1 plus the 6. Double crochet in the 6th chain from the hook. So we're going to double crochet in the 6th chain from the hook. Well, there's number 1. So that's your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they say double crochet in the 6th chain from the hook. So you do a double crochet in there. Then they say chain 5. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so chain 5 and then skip 5 chains. So that's the one that we went into, so we can't use that one. So you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, skip 5, and then you're going into the next one, which would be this one. So they say skip 5 chains and work double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in your next chain. So it's a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in this same stitch here. So it's in the same one. If they didn't want you to, they would have to have changed the way they said it. So they just said in the next chain, which means everything must be done in that next chain. Now they say repeat from that star back here. So whatever's in the star, we're going to just keep repeating. So we're back at the first one, which is chain 5, skip 5. So you're going to chain 5, and then you're going to skip 5. So that's the one that you went into, and it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip 5, and you're going to go into the next one. And remember, they said double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. So you're going to double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. Okay, and that was over there. Now we're back at the beginning. Chain 5, skip 5. So chain 5, skip 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go into double crochet, chain 2. Let's just do this in our last stitch. And then they say repeat from that to the end, which we did. Then they say chain 5 and turn. So we finished with that. Now we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're going to turn your work around. So we chained 5 and then turn around. Now I'll just scoot you back just a touch. Now for row 2, they say double crochet under the first chain 2. Now this is your first chain 2, this is your chain 5 that you did. That's your chain 2 and that's your chain 5. So if you know that, you're good to go on this next step. Double crochet under the first chain 2. So we're going to do a double crochet over here in your very first chain 2 space. Then they say chain 2, so that's easy enough, chain 2. Then they're saying single crochet under the chain 5. Well, we know that this is where our chain 5 is. So you're going to do a single crochet under there. And then they say single crochet under chain 5, chain 2, and then work this little formula under chain 2. So we're going to chain 2, and then you're doing the same thing in here. Your double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in this one. So double crochet, It's exactly the same as you did in the row before. Chain 2 and double crochet in that same space. Alright, now they're going to say repeat. So you remember, you don't repeat from that. You're going to repeat from your star to the end of your star. So you ignore that and you're going to do this part again. Chain 2 and single crochet under your chain 5. So chain 2, there's our chain 5 with a single crochet, and then I know it was chain 2 after that, because they say chain 2, and then you're working this little formula under your chain 2. So there's your chain 2 again, and you're going to do your double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in the same spot, and then they say repeat again. So chain 2, single crochet under your chain 5. Now we're at the end here. Now this looks a little bit different to what I'm used to, so let's see what they say. You did your chain 2, single crochet under there. Now they're saying working to the last double crochet chain 2. So this is where you got to read. You'll keep repeating until you get to the end, and whatever they say after this will be for your end portion. Here you had for your beginning portion, which you ignored when you repeated. Now you're going to have a piece for your end. Sometimes it ends perfectly with this part here where you would have ended, but in this case it's not. So I've got to see, they're saying repeat from there across, working your this last part, because remember you got to chain 2 and then do that. They're saying working this last part under your turning chain. So your turning chain was this. This is your chain 5 where we turned right in the beginning. That's considered your turning chain. So instead of doing this little formula in your chain 2, you're doing it over here. So you're going to chain 2 and do the exact same thing as you did with these ones, but you're just going to do it in this spot over here, which is very smart. Chain 2, double crochet. See, and that's easy enough, gives you the same effect. And then they say chain 5 and turn. So it's the same thing, chain 5, and you're going to turn your work around. So now we're going to go back to this side. Okay, now we've got to go to row 3. Now row 3 says double crochet under the first chain 2. So once again, you can have a look at your work. There's your chain 2. Okay, now we also made some spaces over here, and there's your next chain 2. So let's see what are they going to tell us to do. They say double crochet under the first, so that we understand. Double crochet under your first chain 2. Okay, that's all they said. So then they say chain 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we did that. We just did the 1 double crochet. Now you would have thought you would have done your 2 double crochets with a chain in between, but you didn't, because your chain 5 over here, your turning chain, is acting as your double crochet with chain 2 in between. So you already did it there. Therefore you only had to do it once. Okay, then you did your chain 5. So let's see. Then you're going to work your double crochet, chain 2, double crochet under the chain 2 between the next 2 double crochet. So if you don't know what they're talking about, think about, where are my next 2 double crochet? Well, it's here. And it makes sense to do the same thing that you've been doing over here. So you change your 5, you're going to go right over all of this. You're not doing anything with that. And you're going to work in here again, doing the same thing, double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet in the same spot. And this looks like an easy row, because now you're going to just do, you just did that under there, you repeat, so we're going to do chain 5. So all this row is doing is chain 5, then work that under the chain 2 between the next 2. So chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then find your other little double crochet, chain 2 over there, and you're going all the way across. So you're going to work in here now, double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet. So this is an easy row. then it's going to be chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now remember, we're coming to the end again, so let's see what they're saying, because at your end sometimes it changes, because we're over here now. So by rights we should be working this under the chain 2. So let's see what they say. They say repeat, work across, working last, which this is where we actually at. So they're saying working this part under your turning chain. So it's very simple again. It's doing the same thing. Here's your turning chain, and you're just going to do your double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2 in this spot. And that's going to give us our pattern. Okay, so that hasn't been too hard. Now they're saying chain 5 and turn. So it's the same story here. Chain 5. It looks like, for 5, it looks like we're doing that for both ends. Now sometimes this end will be different to this end, and you have to kind of keep your head screwed on for that, because it gets a bit confusing. Oh my word, which side am I on? But this one is a simple one. You seem to be ending with chain 5 and turn for both of them, which is wonderful. So now we turn around, and then they say we don't have a row 4. Oh dear. So now they say repeat rows 2 and 3 for the pattern. Wow. All you're going to do now is repeat row 2 and then row 3. Row 2, row 3, row 2, row 3. That's all that you do. You just have to remember which row you're on. Sometimes you want to keep a little piece of paper and just, when you finish your work, just write down row 2. So you know I'm on row 2 or row 3, whichever it is. So when you come back, you don't have to try and figure out which row you're on. Now most times you'll be able to see, for example, I know I'm not going to do my chain 5 and go in here because I've got a chain 5. So I know that I've got to do a single crochet here. So a lot of times you can see, but if you're just starting off, sometimes it's a bit confusing. So now all that you do is you're going to follow your row 2 again. So I'm going to do another row 2 and 3 with you just to get you going. I'm not going to read it here. I'm going to just do it with you. I mean, I'll read it for myself, but just so I can help you. Alright, so this one you're going to double crochet under the first chain 2. So I've done my chain 5. You're just going to do 1 double crochet under here, chain 2, and then single crochet under here. And you'll see after you're doing this for a while, you're going to remember the pattern out your head. It's not going to be something that you've got to keep counting. And then you got chain 2, and then you're going to do your double crochet, chain 2 in here, double crochet. Sometimes what I like to do is see how many chains am I doing in between, because sometimes it's more. This one, it's always chain 2. You're doing chain 2 between each one. So I've got a chain 2 there, single crochet in here, and then I know it's another chain 2. So that really helps. And then you're doing your little formula in here, and once again it's chain 2 there, your formula in here, and then it's another chain 2, because I've remembered that, single crochet in there, and now I know it's another chain 2, and I know that I'm doing that same little formula in the end. So it's now getting to be where it's pretty easy, and you're just going to zoot across. Now I know for chain 5, 3, 4, 5 for the end, turn around, and now sometimes your beginning and ends are a little tricky. I just like to be sure I know what I'm doing. So for this one I know is row 3, and row 3 is double crochet under your first. So I'm just going to do 1 double crochet here. Now for this one you got your long stitch going across, so I know I've got to do chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you do your chain 5, and I know that I'm going into this stitch here with my little formula again. This is an incredibly easy stitch once you've mastered the beginning section. Once again, chain 5 to take you across, and double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in that same spot. Once again, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as my yarn gets too tight, and you've got to go over these, and remember you're doing all your last ones the same with your little formula in here. So both sides are doing the same thing, which is incredible, really helps. And that's really all that you're doing to your stitch. If you're not sure, replay the video, watch it again, And in fact, I think that I'm going to just keep going with this. I'm going to make a little scarf out of this. I love this pattern. It's really nice, and you can keep going, but I really just wanted to show you how to do that stitch, and that's what it looks like. Really pretty lacy little stitch. You can use it for whatever you want to, and I hope that this video has helped you. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me a little message and I will try and answer your question. So I hope you have an awesome day, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.